Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to my second Rambo review. I have just recently reviewed First Blood, and in preparation, as I explained in that review, in preparation for the release of Rambo Last Blood this month, I've decided to review all the Rambo films on the channel. Now obviously following First Blood was 1985's Rambo First Blood Part 2 that was directed by George P. Cosmatos. It was as part of people that was involved in the writing. We had James Cameron, who was involved, obviously Sylvester Stallone, and it stars Sylvester Stallone, Richard Crenna, Charles Napier, Stephen Burkoff and Martin Kove. Now this film follows a few years on after the end of First Blood, where Stallone has been locked up for his actions in First Blood, and he's been doing hard labour. And then he's given a chance by Troutman, Richard Crenna, who basically says there's a mission that they need him for, and it's to basically go into Vietnam and to confirm or deny the existence of American POWs still remaining after the Vietnam War. And if he does this, he will get a presidential pardon type of thing. So Stallone agrees. He comes on board, and Charles Napier's Murdoch is a slimy, sweaty CIA operative who essentially kits him up, sends him off into Vietnam. And once he gets there into Vietnam, he actually does discover that there are American POWs alive and being tortured. He takes matters into his own hands, and then once Murdoch realises that there are actually POWs and this could be a PR nightmare, they abandon Rambo behind enemy lines, and he has to become a one-man army to make it out alive and at the same time rescue the POWs and take his revenge on the slimy, sweaty CIA operative Murdoch. Right, so Rambo First Blood Part 2. This was a stable diet for me in the 80s and 90s, this film. It's widely known by Stallone himself. He's said this a few times, that this is his least favourite Rambo film. It's not my least favourite Rambo film. That is Rambo 3 that's my least favourite. I actually think, while this film is completely pantomime, and they turn Rambo into a superhero in this film, it's just wildly entertaining stuff, and it's just full on 80s corny action, and Stallone ramps this character up to 11. From what we saw in the first film, they tapped into his potential and ramped his performance up to 11 to become this superhero type super soldier. And it's a huge amount of fun to watch, is this film. I think so anyway, and I think it's still watchable. I've watched it recently to prepare for this review, and I've got to say I really enjoyed it. It's probably 10 years since I've seen it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I really did. I think Stallone sells his performance. I think Stephen Burkoff as the Russian commander is like just full on pantomime villain. Same with Charles Napier as a CIA agent, operative, who's really slimy. Richard Crenna as Troutman, again ramps. He bigs up, like in the first film, First Blood. You remember when he bigs him up in that tent to Brian Dennehy and the others, and he tells him he's like this super soldier. Well, imagine that. He does exactly the same thing in this film, but again they make him, he literally makes him out to be invincible, and the fact that even though he's behind enemy lines, Murdoch should be afraid of Rambo, and it's actually hilarious when you analyse it, but it's great fun to watch. Now, like I said, James Cameron was involved in the screenplay here for this, and apparently Stallone rewrote a lot of what James Cameron added to this film, and apparently James Cameron's been quoted as saying that I wrote the action, Stallone wrote the politics kind of thing. And I think Cameron's version was probably vastly different than the version we got from Stallone, which probably Stallone kind of regrets, because you kind of lose a little bit of that sympathy that you had for Rambo in the first film, and he just becomes this unstoppable killing machine in the sequel. We do get a little bit of a love interest for Rambo in this film that we've never really seen in any other films. He had a bit of a relationship with Julie Benz in Rambo, the 2008 one, but she was married, if you like. It was more of a protection father-daughter type thing in that. Whereas in this one, he has Co, like a Vietnamese rebel who assists him in this film, and you have a few tender scenes between the two of them, and it does kind of hint at a little bit of a potential romance, and he is visibly upset when she is taken from him in the film, which I thought was nice. It did show that bit of human side to him, and the moments when this film does slow down and you do get some nice conversations between Rambo and Co, they are nice, and they do make an attempt to soften him a couple of times in the film. But yeah, I mean, like I said, many people would list this as their least favourite Rambo, and you know, the Bruce in the Pudding, Stallone as himself listed it as his least favourite Rambo film. But like I said, I actually think it's certainly better than Rambo 3. Not that I think Rambo 3 is terrible, but I just think, just for entertainment purposes and full-on 80s action, you're not going to go far wrong from Rambo First Blood Part 2. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It's an absolutely solid action film, completely unbelievable, of course it is. I think they mentioned in the film that his kill count in the Vietnam War was something like 59 confirmed kills. Well, I think the kill count for Stallone in this film was like 74 kills, and he's only in Vietnam something like 2 or 3 days. So yeah, completely unbelievable stuff, but wildly entertaining. So thanks for watching, everybody. Coming up soon will be my review for Rambo 3, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everybody, and of course I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.